Hello, today what we're going to do is we're going to talk about how to structure a paragraph within an essay. And this essay would be about a film or a book that you've read. And we're going to use the burger as a bit of an idea structure, a scaffold that we can use to really help to bring our sentences together and just pop that idea into our heads. So let's go ahead and look at the paragraph burger and think about how we can use that in our essay. Okay. So here we've got the paragraph burger, and what I've done is I've drawn it out for you and I've given you some ideas of what each part of the burger represents within the body of an essay. So the top sentence, or the topic bun, with a bit of sesame segue in there, which I'll explain in a minute, the topic sentence is really the idea that you're going to introduce in your paragraph. And what that does is it really gives your burger and your paragraph a sense of starting. So it's really not a burger without a top bun. So this is what we're going to use for our topic sentence. And you'll notice I put some sesame segue on there as well. It's a really great idea if you can try and link your paragraphs together by making sure that each paragraph seems to flow on really nicely and segue in from the paragraph before. The next sentence in your paragraph is going to be your context lettuce. So what this does is it really brings together the ideas and places your quote within the whole body. So it's not okay to just chuck a quote in there. It's a good idea to just set the read of your essay up to say when the quote appears or when the scene that you're going to be discussing appears. So give it a sense of context. Where does it appear in the whole body of the text or film? Now we've got our quote. So right in the middle of our burger paragraph, we're going to put our quoted evidence. Now, in a novel, this is really easy because you use your quotation marks and you take your words off the page. But if it's a film, you may have to either take some quoted evidence or refer to the scene when, and maybe describe it in a bit of detail. So making sure that you do that in a good way and making sure that you extract exactly the right piece of evidence is really key here, because that's actually what you're going to discuss for the rest of the paragraph. Underneath that, we've got our language tomatoes. You can see them here, all nice and juicy. And this is where we actually extract some of the detail from our quoted patty. Okay, so in here, if you were talking about a piece of written text, you might mention the language features that are used. You might mention the way that the language interacts. Maybe there are metaphors or similes. Just bringing out a couple of language features to show that you're not just taking it on face value. You're really drilling down into the language. If it's a film that you're studying, this would be a really great place to talk about maybe the lighting, the sound, the way that the framing is set up. You might talk about the mise en scène, so what we're seeing on the screen. You might talk about the way that the characters interact or the camera angles. So bringing in those really, really technical details into this area here. And underneath this, we've got our brain sauce or our mayonnaise. And that's what this has helped us to understand more about what we're reading or viewing. And then finally, right at the bottom, you need your question base. And what this does is it pulls it all together and it links what you said within the paragraph back to the original question. And if you were super, super clever, you might also put a little hint of what's going to come in the next paragraph so that your ideas seem to lead on from one to another.